Welcome to lower downtown Denver. Getting set for a little baseball after a day off. The Rockies matching up with the San Francisco Giants, one of the hottest teams in baseball. The Giants have won 20 of their last 25. They're 16 games above 500. The Rockies have won 4 straight. They're 55 and 50. It's that time of year. It's not too early to check out the National League West standings and see exactly where Colorado is situated. They're 7.5 back. San Diego continues to win. They won big over the Dodgers. The Dodgers have slipped to 9 back. And they're the Giants, 5.5 in front of the Rockies, leading the wild card race by 5.5 on Colorado. A couple of teams Colorado has to hop over, Philadelphia and St. Louis as well. Good evening, everybody. With George Frazier, I'm Drew Goodman. So you see, with a couple of months left, the Rockies have work to do, George, and we're going to show you the National League West schedule, the home and away, and the way is a big part of things, isn't it?
It is a big part of it, but I think with the Rockies going to Pittsburgh and playing 4 games on the road, the Mets have been absolutely horrible. So go out and take advantage of that road trip for the Rockies when they head out on the road. But you look at what San Diego, San Francisco, the Dodgers, everybody can beat up on each other as this starts to go down. For me, the biggest series is going to be the last 4 games in St. Louis for the Colorado Rockies.
That's where the season will end against a team the Rockies have performed well against so far this year. They swept the Cardinals earlier this season. Let's take a look at the pitching matchups. It's a mini 2-game set. In fact, the Giants will be here for only 36 hours, and you'll see 2 left-handers, the back of their rotation. But their rotation is really, really good. It's Sanchez tonight, who can be dominant, and then the kid who's one of the better pitching prospects in baseball, Madison Bumgarner.
Well, both these guys are very, very good. Obviously, you need Aaron Cook to go out and pitch the way Aaron Cook can in order for the Rockies to have an opportunity. It's not going to be easy. He's had a difficult time with this lineup that San Francisco is going to put out. Yes, you're getting the back end of it. Sanchez, their ball club, you saw his record, but they're 14-7 when he starts. So obviously he keeps you in games. The key is be patient, make him throw strikes. He leads the National League with over 4 walks per 9 innings.
That's right, 4.5 to be exact per 9 innings. So the Rockies must be patient tonight against the left-hander who throws very hard. Fastball in the mid-90s. When we come back, we'll give you an update on Dexter Fowler and an update on number 17. Stick around. Rockies at Coors Field. The Rockies, coming off a sweep of the Chicago Cubs, will match up with the San Francisco Giants tonight and tomorrow afternoon. And as George mentioned, then it's off to Pittsburgh and New York to face the Mets. Well, a couple of bits of news. Good news. Dexter Fowler will not have to go on the disabled list. Will not play tonight. Possibility tomorrow. He should be ready to go on the road trip. And guess who's back in the lineup tonight?
A guy that's put up a lot of hits, a lot of home runs, a lot of RBIs, and oh, by the way, he went 3 for 4 at Casper the other night. I told you, must be a big draw, man. You do 3,700 people the other day at Casper for those 3-game series every single day. Yep, Helton's off. He's going to play tonight, bat second in the lineup. And unfortunately, a very good player that's done a great job for the Rockies, but got trapped into some numbers. Jonathan Herrera has to go back to AAA.
Yeah, Johnny will go down to AAA. You know he'll be back at some point. He did a marvelous job. For more on Todd Helton's situation, we go field level and Alana Rizzo. Hey, Alana.
Hey, guys. Thanks very much. Todd Helton back in the lineup, and he does such a great job of expanding that strike zone and making pitchers throw a lot of pitches and also giving his teammates surrounding him good looks at what the pitcher has on the hill. And, of course, everybody wanted to know, hey, are you ready to be back in the lineup? And I asked him specifically, I said, what did being in Casper do for you?
Showed me that I can still play, and that I still really wanted to play, and missed the guys, missed being here, missed the competition. So I'm excited to be back and hopefully help us win some games.
And the guys missed him, too. It's very well documented how much of a leader he is on the field, in the dugout, and in the clubhouse. And when Jim Tracy was asked earlier, how is his back? He said, I have no idea. Nobody really knows how well his back is going to hold up. The only way we're going to find out is if he takes at-bats at this level, guys.
It'll be great to see him in the lineup. As George said, he'll be in the 2-hole. Rockies and Giants come on back to Coors Field with us. Baseball on FSN is brought to you by Quest High-Speed Internet. Get blazing fast speeds that won't burn up your wallet. By E470, quick, easy, and available to anyone. Test drive it today. By Ford Escape, so much fun, so little fuel. Ford Escape, drive what? And by Brakes Plus, a whole lot more. Rockies 4-2 on this homestand. It began with a 3-game set against the Pirates, and the Rockies lost the first 2. And then won in blowout fashion on Thursday with Ubaldo Jimenez on the hill, who will go tomorrow. There is Andres Torres, and he has really helped out San Francisco this year. He'll be followed by Freddie Sanchez. Aubrey Huff's had a great year, his first year in San Francisco. Buster Posey They're about to put a statue outside AT&T for him. Burrell, Ishikawa, Sandoval, Renteria, and Sanchez. First pitch tonight is brought to you by Domino's Pizza. And Aaron Cook, his first delivery is outside ball one. Text keyword pizza followed by a space and your name to 95323 to receive your Domino's special offer. And to be entered to win a pizza party for 12, one weekly winner will be chosen. That's foul back. 1 ball, 1 strike on Torres. As much attention, George, as Buster Posey is getting, and well-deserved attention, and Aubrey Huff is getting a lot of attaboys for hitting .309 with 20 home runs on a team that really was starved for offense a year ago. This kid is as much a part of San Francisco's success this year as anybody.
Well, sets the table. He stole 19 bases. His average is .286, but hitting with some power with 10 home runs. He has 42 RBIs in the leadoff position.
And he works the count. It's 3-1. Aaron Cook coming off the shortest outing, or the third shortest outing of his career.
Trying to work the sinker in, but the elevation of the sinker and inside, obviously a ball.
At the knees for a strike. You know, I called Torres a kid, but he's 32. A lot of years in the minor leagues. His last start was a forgettable one for Aaron Cook. He's 2 1/3.
5 runs over 6 hits. He only had 1 strikeout. He did give up a home run. 68 pitches thrown.
And a leadoff base hit by Torres, who can really run.
Let's take a look at the scouting report on Aaron Cook, doing it a little different tonight to show you what their lineup has done against Aaron Cook. Obviously, there's a couple guys in this lineup he's got to be aware of. One of those is Pat Burrell. As you get down into the lineup, 13 for 22 against Aaron Cook. The top of the lineup, Torres now 2 for 5. Freddie Sanchez sets the table for the big boppers down below. Sandoval, who's hitting in the lower half of their lineup now, 4 for 12 against Cook. Cook has pitched well at Coors Field. 3-1 so far this year with a .393 earned run average. Out on the road has struggled. 1-6 record on the road.
And you saw those numbers. Sanchez doesn't have a ton of at-bats against Cook, but he's 3 for 7. That misses. Ball one. The entire roster against Aaron Cook have hit a collective .407. That includes some guys who are on the bench tonight, Uribe and Rowan. So Cook's been challenged against the Giants, an 8-10 career mark. And Aaron will give up hits. They're going to be higher batting averages typically against a guy like Aaron Cook than some other guys that slide into the places he's been in terms of rotation spot. Because Aaron's a ground ball pitcher, the ball's always in play.
Not going to
there
strike
goes
out.
Torres, and the hit and run, one play for Cora. And he'll get Sanchez at first. That'll bring up Aubrey Huff. Here's the Rockies defense. Billboards, Gonzalez, and Hop. Mora at third, Tulowitzki and Barmas up the middle. Todd Helton back in there at first base. And Miguel Olivo is catching Aaron Cook.
It used to be you'd look down their lineup and you'd think of Uribe, you would think of Sandoval. Don't allow him to beat you. Molina when he was here. Now it's this guy. 14 for 37, 5 home runs and 9 RBIs against the Rockies in 10 games this year.
He's been everything and then some when they picked him up. I'm hoping for another bat. You know, he's a guy, George, that I don't think got his proper due in his previous stops because he was always on bad teams. We were talking about that today, and he said it is just so nice to be in the situation I'm in right now. 2 months to go and in a pennant race. 2-0. Tonight's Tuesday night. That means it's text the booth night. Text booth followed by a space and your question at 95323. We'll get to as many of your questions as we can. Brought to you by Office Liquidators and OfficeLiquidators.com. Colorado's largest selection and lowest prices of office furniture. Torres at second, 1 out. And that's not close, 3-0. You know, Aaron even early in games, will be selective when a base is open, because his best friend is that double play ball. He's got Buster Posey from the right side on deck. So that doesn't, I was going to say, that doesn't surprise me at all that the fourth pitch missed also, but it was at the knees, 3-1.
Well, it's down low, and you're going to get a ball on the ground if it is made with contact. Hard sinker from Cook, received very well by Olivo, reached out to keep it in the zone.
3-1 on a dangerous man, Aubrey Huff. Kept it down, no offer, and no problem as far as Cook's concerned. 2 on for the young phenom Buster Posey as we take a look at our Suzuki keys to the game.
I was going to tell you, look at these keys to the race. It's between the Rockies and the Giants now to try to catch those Padres and to take advantage of this 2-game sweep. Bruce Bochy and Jim Tracy. The left-on-left situation with the injuries to Affeldt and the injuries to Runzler. They have one lefty in their bullpen, and that's going to be Javier Lopez, who was just acquired. The 7th, 8th, and 9th inning of this ball game, where the bullpens will be a factor in this. Their bullpen, very, very good. Their bullpen is ranked 4th. The Rockies 7th in the National League.
You got a pick play on, and the throw is over the second base side of the bag, or the right side of the bag, and Tulowitzki never really had a play on Torres. Look again.
Snap throw, but a little bit offline, as Drew mentioned. Hyundai Cam will give you a better look at this. It's a throw from a pitcher. It's going to tail anyway. You try to aim a little bit to the shortstop side of the bag when you're trying to make that pickoff throw on the mound.
Boy, that was a mistake. That pitch was up in the happy zone for Buster Posey. And we noticed it in the at-bat with Torres. The sinker's been elevated early in this game.
Not getting extension to the plate. That's the main reason why. And everything's not being finished out over that front leg a lot of times. The Giants 18-7 when Mr. Posey catches.
Slider on the outside corner. It's 0-2. And you look at Buster Posey's numbers, George, that 350 average, and you say, okay, well, he has a handful of at-bats. Wrong. He has 203 at-bats. That's a whole lot of hits, 71 and 203 at-bats since he arrived on May 29th. He can hit. Here's the 0-2, up high, 1-2.
They talk an awful lot about guys that could win the National League Rookie of the Year. His name must be mentioned on that list now, just based on what he has accomplished, and it is a very good list this year.
It's a great list, George, and I think he's got to be the head of the class because he's now hitting cleanup on a team that has the second best record in the National League. They're 20-25 or 20-5 in the last 25 ball games. He's a big part of it. Pat Burrell on deck, who has given Cook fits in his career. 2 on, 1 out here, just underway at Coors Field. Rockies enjoyed their first day off yesterday after playing in 17 straight. Giants had a day off yesterday as well. One of the reasons Posey is such a good young hitter. He has a great idea of the strike zone.
Part of that being a catcher all the way through college, coming through the minor league system, understanding it. Faced 4 batters. 3 of those have reached 3-ball counts for Aaron Cook.
Next pitch will be the 19th already of the inning. Runners going, and this is in the air to right. And Brad Hopp is not going to have a play.
Not surprised by Bruce Bochy to do something a little different. He's done this with his club. He's become much more aggressive. That ball hit right on top of the padding. Out of the reach of Brad Hopp.
Posey looks like he's 12 and he plays like he's been in the big leagues for 10 years. Runners going again, and it's a line drive to right, and it'll score 1 run. Huff will go to third. So Buster Posey doing what he's been doing. Comes through with an RBI hit in the first inning. And that'll bring up Pat Burrell.
Let's look at the location of the pitch. A sinker that is down, a very good low ball hitter. Back to the back end, and then you just see him inside out the baseball to right side, and where he intended to go with the pitch from the very beginning, and it drops in front of Brad Hoffman with the runners moving. First and third, and 1-0 Giants.
So average moves to 353. Starlin Castro, who was just here, is next at 306. He wears out the right side of the diamond.
Well, Pat Burrell's the guy that's had a lot of success against Aaron Cook.
13 for 22.
The number 4 and 5 hitter in the lineup. They've hit 375 against Aaron Cook. That'll go up a little bit now with the base hit by Posey.
Tulowitzki and Barmes set for 2. Couple steps in, couple steps over. Posey at first is a good athlete. Ground ball, foul.
He's tried to steal one base. He's been caught doing that. That's kind of not his deal. He's a very good accomplished base runner as far as cutting backs, shortening the distance. But as far as just somebody with a lot of speed, he's not one of those guys.
He primarily played 2 positions at Florida State where he was a legend. He caught and he played shortstop, an unusual combination, but it's a testimony to how good of an athlete he is. 2-1. This is a boatload of pitches for Aaron Cook, who, when he's on his game, George, has those 7-8 pitch innings.
He does, and that's started out with a base hit. Jim Tracy's already got to start looking at the card, figuring out things. But with Aaron Cook, you're 1 pitch away from walking away from it with only 1 run in.
Here's the 2-1, way inside, not close, 3-1. And I would think, George, with the recent history of Aaron, and up and down performances, and unfortunately more performances that you'd have to characterize as uneven, Jim Tracy will have a short leash tonight.
Yeah, just looking at the bullpen, you've got Buchholz you can go to, you got Corpus you could go to early, so he's used the last couple of times.
3-1, base hit, 2-0. And as Burrow continues to wear out Aaron Cook, he's now 14 for 23. And Bob Apodaca forced to go to the mound here in the first inning with 1 out.
The Giants hit 246 this year. They're 14th in the National League with runners in scoring position. And I visited with Bruce Bochy early this afternoon, and I said, Bruce, what is the thing? Why are you playing better baseball? And on the Hyundai cam, you're going to see a pretty good base hit here by Burrell that just opened the front side. He said the biggest thing we're doing, we're getting 2 out base hits. Our starting staff has been off the charts, which it has been all year. And our bullpen has been good. Now, they lost 2 left-handers, Runzler and Affel. And Runzler should be back in a couple of weeks. That's why they had to go get Javier Lopez. But Bruce Bochy just said, you know what? The 2 out hits are the biggest thing that we've been able to accomplish.
Now Travis Ishikawa will step up, and this is no day at the picnic either, because he's 5 for 6 career-wise against Aaron Cook. That's the only reason he's starting. He doesn't get many starts these days. He had a grand slam earlier this year against Ubaldo Jimenez. And that pitch outside. Cook continually behind in the count here in this first inning. Now that it's 2-0, I mean, not that you wanted to see 2 markers up, but it's almost imperative that Aaron gets out of this thing with no further damage. 2-0. And if he loses Ishikawa in any way, shape, or form, you're probably going to have to get a body warm already.
And that's one thing you want to stay away from, because the Rockies are getting ready to be on a stretch. They're going to have to play 7 straight ball games. You got the day off on Monday.
Up the middle, on through, base hit. Posey around third. He will score. It's 3-0. As that is the 4th single of the inning.
Reminiscence of what happened in Minnesota, where they had 8 hits against Aaron Cook, all singles, but were allowed to put 4 runs on the board against him in Minnesota. 3 1/3, 5 runs in that on 9 hits, 8 singles. No movement yet out of their bench. Looking down to the bullpen. Sinker that stayed up a little bit, but yet Cook took underneath his glove and Barmes into the outfield. Dangerous hitter at the plate that has struggled, Pablo Sandoval. We'll look at that ball hit right back up the middle.
Hey, force a manager's hand. I mean, you haven't been in the bat rack yet. You're down 3.
Taylor Buckles going to get up and start to play catch down in the bullpen. On the other side of it, Drew, you've mentioned it a lot. 29 pitches, 17 balls, 12 strikes through.
Yeah, it's not like Aaron Cook. Well, Sandoval leads the National League in GIDPs, grounded into double plays. Rockies need one here. This isn't going to be a double play. This is going to drop in front of Spilborghs. Another run will come around. It's 4-0, and Terry Buckholz right now can't get warm fast enough.
And the hard part behind that, of course, he's only about 14 months out of elbow surgery, so it's going to take him a little bit of time to get loose. Sandoval down in the bottom of the lineup, had hit third or fourth for this ball club. Got a 90-mile-an-hour sinker up into the strike zone. He just slices it down in front of Ryan Spilborghs. A good jump in the outfield by Pat Burrell at second base allowed him to come around and score the 4th run of this ball game.
Edgar Renteria. That's in there for a strike.
Let's take a look at that pitch count that Drew and I've been talking about. 31 pitches so far, 17 balls. And Renteria's not a day at the beach. This is an RBI guy.
Well, George, when I went in the Giant clubhouse this afternoon, and I looked at their lineup, and I said to myself, that this is a...
You didn't say it to everybody in the locker room?
Well, actually, we conversed about it. Ron Wotus and I were talking a little bit about it, their bench coach. A year ago, the last few years, Molina in the middle of the lineup, not to disparage Benjamin Molina, quality player. Sandoval was their best hitter. Sandoval's hitting 7th now. He hasn't been as good as a year ago.
Well, he struggled a lot.
Yeah, but Renteria's hitting 8th. It speaks to how much better this Giant offense is now.
It's a lot better offense than what it was, but I think the insertion of Pat Burrell and what he has done, I mean, this is a monster RBI home run guy that they were able to acquire after being released and convince him to come there and play for them. That's made a difference. Juan Uribe, the job he has done, the former Rocky, and what he's accomplished. It's a very formidable lineup that Bruce Bochy has to work with. I think it's just something that, again, Brian Sabian's done it again.
Two and 2 on Renteria. 4-0 San Francisco. Not exactly how you wanted to start out this 2-game homestand. Two outs, and that'll bring up the pitcher, Jonathan Sanchez.
Went to something different than the sinker. He goes to the hard breaking ball, put it in the middle of the plate, but it had a very good location biting away from Renteria, who will chase the breaking ball out of the zone for the 2nd out. Sanchez, a very good hitting pitcher, a 182 average.
And he pokes a single to left. Here comes Spilborghs up with a baseball throw on line in time. Did he get the tag? Yes. So Ishikawa tagged out on a great throw by Ryan Spilborghs. Fortunately, that saved the 5th run scored for the Giants. Ugly inning. Fowler down for a couple of days. Ryan Spilborghs is in the leadoff role today. Might very well be again tomorrow against another left-hander. There's the numbers on Spilly. He'll be followed by Todd Helton. Todd back in there. He'll bat in that 2 spot in front of Carlos Gonzalez, who was named yesterday the National League Player of the Week. And that was well deserved. He only hit about 8,000 last week. Tulowitzki, Melvin Mora, Miguel Olivo, Brad Hopp swinging the bat better, Clint Barmas, and then Aaron Cook. And let's take a look at the scouting report on Jonathan Sanchez. He'll strike you out, but he'll walk some too.
He walks a lot, yeah. Troy Tulowitzki 7 for 15 with the home run. Clint Barmas has had success against him. Ryan Spilborghs, Helton's hit 250. So Gonzalez is the one guy he's handled with that hard slider, 0 for 5 in their very, very young matchup. His record, and you look at it, 7-6, 354, 127 strikeouts. He can do a lot of things, but the one thing he does do is that's walk a lot of people. His 61 walks, second most in the National League at 4.5 per 9 innings. Be patient.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Winning record in his first half of the career. As you look at Todd Helton get prepared for his at bat, 21-20. But has really struggled in the second half. Is that something that might alarm the Giants? 7-16. Comparable earned run average. First half of his career, 385. Second half, 562.
Here's the 1-2. Outside. Sam Holbrook's behind home plate, calling balls and strikes. And this ball's hit a ton to center field. Torres going back. We'll get there. And Spilborghs gave it a ride. Here are the defenders. Torres flanked by Burrell and Huff. Sandoval, Renteria, Sanchez, and Ishikawa. Ishikawa's a good glove man. Sandoval moves very well for a big man. And Buster Posey has got very good grades so far behind the plate.
Well, everybody wondered how they would play when they got rid of Molina, because there was rumors floating that Posey didn't even want to catch. He wanted to play first base. Well, to answer that question, we talked about it. Line drive, left field, base hit. Welcome back, Todd.
Absolutely. That's great to see. First pitch swing, and Todd, who had 3 hits on Sunday up in Casper. A couple of hits on Saturday night.
The Helton fan club is back in center field, as they should be. Left on left for Todd Helton to slice this ball into left field. Love the way he got all the weight transfer to the backside. That swing looks a little different, a little improved from Todd Helton. I want to finish that up on Buster Posey. They are 18-7. We mentioned that. Their earned run average 3.44 with him behind the plate.
So here's Cargo with 1 on and 1 out. .320 average, second to Votto in the National League batting race. Sanchez just a little over a year ago threw that no-hitter against the San Diego Padres. It was the first Giant no-hitter since the Count of Montefusco. John Montefusco threw one back in the 70s for the Giants. And it goes off of Sanchez, and he's still able to get Carlos Gonzalez. Helton moves to second with 2 outs.
I tell you what, this is fielded very poorly by Sanchez. Because the ball's hit to the right leg, he tries to inside out the glove to get to the baseball and ends up hitting off of him. They hustled after it and got Gonzalez. If he backhands that ball, the result probably a double play ball.
Tulowitzki, in his first 6 games since coming off the disabled list with the broken wrist, has 7 RBIs, including 3 doubles. Got an RBI out there in Helton.
Now this is a guy he could get happy. 7 for 15, a home run. as a starting pitcher for the opposition, when your club puts a 4 spot up for you on the first inning, first at bat, the last thing you want to do is go out and give up runs back and give momentum back to the home team. The Rockies this year 6-4 against the Giants. They've won 3 out of 4 here at Coors Field. 75-60 in the career matchups at Coors.
One 1-0 on Tulowitzki. 2-0. Melvin Moore is on deck.
If you want it on a base hit to the outfield, Pat Burrell, a very average arm. Center field, Torres, average, can get a little bit above average because of the accuracy. And in right field, Huff is an average arm.
Three and 0. You look at their infield in terms of range. Renteria doesn't have the range he once had. Freddie Sanchez, average range. Ishikawa doesn't normally play. He is a good defender. Huff plays some first. Posey, a very young catcher. You throw all those things out there, George, and you mentioned basically average arms in the outfield, yet they're second in fewest errors committed in the National League. So if you hit it in their direction, they're going to put the out away.
Pitching to the defense that's set up. That's what it's all about. Their starters really pitch to the defense that is set for them. And when in doubt, an old scout told me this one time, when in doubt, send in that report, say play straight up. More times than not, they're going to hit it right at you.
Elton at second, 2 outs. 3-1 on Tulowitzki. And he went to the slider. Sanchez knows that Tulowitzki's had his number. So now 2 on. And a very hot hitter coming to the plate in Melvin Mora. His 6 straight hits. Who wants tacos? Fans, remember, if the Rockies score 7 or more during any game, go to your participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 for your Rockies taco special.
2008-2009, Sanchez ranked 6th in all of baseball for the opposition's average against, 239. The opposition this year hitting 219 versus Sanchez.
That's the 4th best mark in the National League. High, and that just gives you an idea. I mean, Jonathan Sanchez, who's their number 4 starter, has the 4th lowest batting average against. This is a staff that has Zito, who's been revitalized the last year, calendar year, going July to July, and now into August. Tim Lincecum, the 2-time reigning Cy Young. Matt Cain. And yet it's Sanchez who has the lowest batting average against. That gives you an idea how deep this rotation is for the Giants.
And part of that, to go along with Drew's saying, he ranked 7th in all of baseball last 2 years in strikeouts with 334. This year, 127 strikeouts and 122 innings. So those walks get corrected a lot by strikeouts.
2-0 on Mora. Taken the whole way, 2-1. Miguel Olivo on deck. And it's so important, George, even though the Rockies are down by 4 very early in this game, your game plan offensively can't change.
It can't change. Hey, you still have a lot of outs to go. You got 25 outs to go before this game's over.
This ball is driven to right center field and deep. Huff going back, still going back. Almost misjudged it and hauls it in. Mora kind of staring out there. I think he thought it was over his head. Inning. Let's send it down to Alana Rizzo for tonight's great Colorado Payback Sideline Report.
All right, guys, thanks very much. The Rockies have really taken the term home sweet home to heart on this current 8-game homestand. They went 1-2 against the Pirates. They swept the Cubs. This is game 7 of an 8-game homestand. And you know what? They, at least at the very worst, they guarantee themselves a 500 homestand. And Rockies manager Jim Tracy still has not lost a homestand since he took over on May 29th of last year, guys.
Yeah, he's not had a losing homestand. The Rockies have to continue to play great baseball here, and they have to play above 500 the rest of the way on the road. I'm not saying they have to play 600 baseball on the road, but it's got to be above 500, and it's got to be way above 600 here at home for the Rockies to make the postseason. That's just an honest appraisal. Line out by Torres. After singling in the first, Aaron Cook gets him on that line drive to Troy Tulowitzki. Here's the current homestand. The Rockies continue to score a lot of runs at home. Hit 10 home runs so far. After the Rockies beat up on the Giants over the 4th of July when San Francisco left, the Giants were 41-40. Since then, they've gone 20-5. The Rockies are 11-12 since that time frame. The Padres 13-9. The Dodgers have fallen off the table. They're 7-16 in that time frame. It's the 1-1 on Freddie Sanchez and an easy play for Barnes.
If you have a group you'd like to bring out to Coors Field, now's the time to do it. The Rockies have a game tomorrow, and of course, game's coming up against Milwaukee when they get off this road trip. 25 or more, 303 Rockies to get more information.
So here comes Aubrey Huff, a native of Fort Worth, Texas. A little under the weather earlier today. Got some food poisoning last night. That's not fun. Off the corner, ball 1. Huff walked and scored in the first inning. 3rd in the National League in OPS, on base plus slugging percentage. And this ball's well hit to Spilborghs in left, and Ryan will reach up right in front of the wall and make the catch. 1-2-3 second for Aaron Cook. Rockies have work to do with the bats. Clint Barmas. Let's take a look at our first text message tonight. Do you think Herrera will clear waivers since he's now out of options after being sent down? He is not out of options. That somehow that word got out that Johnny Herrera was out of options, and that's not accurate. So Johnny was sent to Colorado Springs, and
He was only on the roster and in the big leagues one time. That was with Colorado in 2008, and it was designated. Last year played all year. So you have 4 options, and the 4th one is when you have to go down and be frozen. So obviously Johnny cleared. And you know what? It was a bad deal.
Johnny
he didn't have to clear. He's there. But, I mean, it's a bad deal because as a young player, sometimes you get caught up in a contract number, a player number that does not have options. And, you know, right now, Johnny Herrera go down and play the way he's played here. You're only an injury away from getting back. Definitely will be a part of what goes on in September here.
No question. Jim Tracy said it was very hard. He said, I mean, Johnny Herrera was, well, Tulowitzki was out, was arguably the team's MVP. Two balls, 2 strikes on Miguel Olivo. Rockies had a chance to score in that first inning. Helton had a 1-out hit. Reached second on a fielder's choice. Tulowitzki walked. Melvin Moore drove one to deep right center that Aubrey Huff had to reach up and make a semi-lunging catch on. Johnny Herrera starting at second base. The Rockies went 20-16, by the way. There's Clint Barmas. He'll be next, or actually it'll be 2 doors down. And Olivo chased out of the zone. First strikeout for Jonathan Sanchez. Let's go outside the box with Jack in the box. Too many Johnny Jonathans. The Rockies' record against the West when they've been over 500. 07, which was a postseason year. 95, a postseason year. And this year they're 21-16. Last year they were 33-39 inside the division. A lot of those losses came in April and May before the Rockies turned their season around. Brad Hopp at the plate takes a strike. Outside the box, brought to you by Jack in the Box.
A lot of times you will see Brad in his swing stride out and kind of kick that front leg back and try to catch the slider out on the front side. That's what he was able to do during the stand, where he's hit a couple of home runs, hit a double.
Rolled foul. Another text message. How does it work when clubs make trades after the non-waiver trade deadline? If you look at Dan O'Dowd working his laptop as he watches the ball game.
Well, you make a trade, they have to go through waivers and be offered to the other 29 teams. If no one happens to claim that player, then he is available for a trade. But what happens a lot, San Francisco, for instance, here's the Rockies are trying to get a certain reliever, and then he's out there on waivers. They will put a claim on. And it goes by the way you are in the standings of who has claims first, and it's American League, National League. So, you know, sometimes an American League team will block a player for San Francisco, and San Francisco block it. It's a buddy-type system. But if that player happens to clear waivers by the other 29 ball clubs, he then can be traded.
Right, so it goes by, if you have a poor record, you have first dibs on that particular player. Here's the 1-strike pitch, and that's way in on Barnes.
It helps the weaker teams get better. But when you do claim that player, you assume everything. The contract, incentives, the whole deal.
Another reason that you don't quite see the number of trades that you do before the non-waiver trade deadline, which passed on the 31st. Rockies did pick up a player today. Wes Hodges was picked up, former number 2 pick in 2006, and he was having a solid year in AAA with Cleveland. There's the text question. Hodges with the Columbus Clippers, batting .270, 9 home runs, 47 RBIs. Right-handed hitter. Career .280 hitter in the minor leagues, 4 minor league seasons.
A lot of times what clubs will do, they'll put a guy that's on 40-man roster on waivers right after the trade, non-waiver trade deadline, and then see if anybody grabs him, and the Rockies were able to get him.
He's a Georgia Tech product. There are a lot of good players who come out of Georgia Tech. Here's the Rockies' organizational depth. Sanchez strikes out the side in the second. Giants lead at 4-0. .70, quick, easy, and available to anyone. Test drive it today. Giants tomorrow afternoon. Then the Rockies will head to Pittsburgh. They'll play 4 against the Pirates. Looking to exact a little bit of revenge. Pirates took 2 of 3 here last week. Monday's an off day in New York, and then the Mets Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday afternoon. Buster Posey leading off against Aaron Cook in the third. He had an RBI single his first time up. That may be the best sinker Cook has thrown in this ball game. And body language to his manager now, with confidence on the mound, even though you're trailing 4-0, is where Aaron Cook had a very quick second. Attack the strike zone, trust your stuff, and work down. Very rough first inning for Aaron Cook if you're late to the party. He gave up 4 runs on 6 hits in that first inning as the Giants hit around. And Posey badly fooled on a curveball. Second strikeout that Aaron Cook has had on the curveball. The first was against Renteria. Kind of the same type of positioning. Big bender on the outer half of the plate. That was a Livan Hernandez curveball, George. Spun it right out of the hand at 70 miles an hour. 70. Is getting to that Hernandez territory. I like it when they flip it up there. Who was the other guy that flipped it up at like 60? There's one other one. Oh, Randy Wolf. Yeah, he's got that little left balooper he throws up every now and then, particularly against a power hitting right-handed team. Now Pat Burrow, an RBI single in the first, now 14 for 23 against Cook. Here's the 1-1, and this ball's hit a long way to left center field. This is going to get on out of here, and this might as well put 4 wide ones up when Pat Burrow comes up next time against Aaron Cook. Tons of success. We mentioned earlier all the success he had against Aaron Cook. And he continues to pile it on after a base hit and an RBI. His 17th. He picks up his 7th home run and now 18 RBIs in a Giant uniform. High fastball. Big strong man at the plate too. Got a ball up out over the plate to make this a 5-0 ball game. Usually, you know, when you have numbers that trend that way, usually there's a market correction at some point. Evidently not right now. And this ball is hit hard to left field by Ishikawa. Pablo Sandoval will be next. Time for our Breaks Plus Take a Break poll of the game. Text your answers to 95323. The Dodgers are 9 games out of first in the West. Are they out of the race? Text Rocks 1 for yes. They're bleeding Dodger blue. Text Rocks 2 for no. They arrive late and leave early. Reminder, show this text at Breaks Plus in the month of August. Get a $15 oil change and filter. And this ball is hit well. Carlos going back. And he can't quite get it. Hops over the wall. Ground rule double for Sandoval with 2 outs. And even if Aaron gets out of this, I know he leads off next inning. I know it's very early, but George, in the second inning, there was a line out. There was a drive to deep left field.
8/10 of the ball game for this club too, and they swung the bat well. They have hit the ball hard when they have hit it. Even balls on the ground that have got back up the middle off Aaron Cook.
I mean, Ishikawa's out. This inning was a line shot to left.
Still going with the odds here. Renteria struck out on a bad breaking ball in his previous at bat. Sanchez, a very good hitting pitcher, is in the on deck circle. He's hitting .206. He's single, but you still play the odds and try to get a base over where you can get a force everywhere and then face Sanchez. Renteria has been able to drive in a lot of runs. Sanchez, first year he's really hit well in his career, just hit fairly over 100. This year swung the bat well.
Yeah, with down 5-0, there's no way you can mess around with the position player. Buchholz back up. And for a guy that's coming off Tommy John surgery, George, I know when you were down in the bullpen, if you got up 3 times, you're either in the game or you were done. For a guy like Buchholz, you would have to believe he's got to come in now, getting up the second time.
You would think so. On the other side of that is, too, and Jim Tracy's a firm believer in this. You get in a jam twice, you're not going to get in 1 3 times. I'm not going to let you do it.
Aaron gets Sanchez to ground out. Pat Burrell, a long home run to left center. It's 5-0 San Francisco. $5-0. As we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning, we check this date in history, brought to you by Dex One. August 3rd, 2003. Jay Payton, who's still in the Rockies organization, he's having a good year down in AAA. He had 2 3-run home runs, drove in a career best 7 as the Rockies beat the Pirates 16-4. Preston Wilson, Juan Uribe, there's Juan, also had 4 hits in that ball game as the Rockies matched a team record with 24 hits. Aaron Cook will lead off here in the 3rd inning. And he takes a strike from Sanchez. Buchholz continues to throw. So Cook, again, early in the game, maybe swinging the bat here. That may not mean he continues on, though.
Well, short bench, too, because you don't know if Fowler's available. You know, even though he's there, you're not sure he's able to play or swing it back.
Aaron fouls it off, and Aaron also is probably the Rockies' best hitting pitcher. So even if he doesn't continue from the standpoint of, as George mentioned, a shortened bench and where you are in the ball game, it would make sense to have Aaron hit here. And he's gone on that foul tip. That's 4 straight strikeouts for Sanchez. And that'll bring up Ryan Spilborghs, who hit a deep drive to center field his first time up. Jay Payton's numbers, by the way, in Colorado Springs, .314 average, 3 home runs, driven in 54. No, he's nicked up a little bit right now. He's on the 7-day DL. That's what you get down in minor leagues. That ball is down in the dirt, ball 1.
Well, one time through the lineup, this is what it looked like tonight. Eric Cook, first pitch strikes, 3 of 9, hits, runs given up. Continued on in the 3rd inning with the home run by Burrow.
Two balls, 2 strikes. All right, another text message as you look at the young catcher Buster Posey. Are the signs the catcher shows the pitcher universal for every team?
Pretty much so. 1's a fastball, 2 curves. Some guys change it around, use 2 as a slider. 2 and 3 is your slider curveball mix. You 4 or wiggle for a changeup. Some guys will give a straight 4 fingers for the split, and then they'll wiggle for the circle change. In the case of Ubaldo, sometimes they'll give 5 fingers down. See the wiggling and the movement of what he's done there. Into a changeup, got another strikeout, 5 in a row now for Sanchez.
It's halfway to a record we discussed the other day. Tom Seaver striking out 10 hitters in a row.
Changeup. Good pitch, put it up in the upper half of the zone. It appeared to be the fastball at the time. And I commend Jay Payton. We talked a little bit about this, Drew. I mean, a guy that's in his mid to late 30s that's accomplished a lot in the game of baseball. Took a year off, came back. You know what? I want to play it. I want to go back to where I had good feelings as a player, and that was here in Colorado. Remember, he hit all those home runs, a high average on the road, and at that time, high averages on the road were kind of a thing of the past for Rockies, including Walker and all the great ones.
Yeah, you know, the year you're referencing, George, he had 28 home runs. I mean, he's a strong man. Mm-hmm. And 15 of those home runs came out on the road.
But to come back, and it's not easy, even though you're at AAA at the highest level of the minor leagues. Getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, driving to Denver on a bus, catching a flight at 8, playing a game that night. Gotta love the game and the will to get back to this level.
And Helton has gotten that 6 punch outs in a row by Sanchez. He can do that. He's one of the top strikeout artists in baseball. He's got a 5-0 lead. The Rockies have indeed made a change on the hill. Tonight's call to the bullpen is brought to you by Xfinity Voice, unlimited local and long distance calling. Call 1-800-XFINITY. There is Taylor Buchholz.
He's going to be asked to go out and at least give you 2, maybe 3 innings to help try to save this bullpen after Aaron Cook's 3rd straight struggle on the mound, where he went 3 innings. In his last 3 starts, he's gone 9 2/3 innings, 23 hits and 16 runs. Not Aaron Cook-like at all. Numbers on Buchholz, making his 5th appearance. 3-point earned run average. Again, 6 innings thrown so far. He struck out 6, walked 3. He's given up 1 home run. He's retired first batter efficiency 100% of the time. 6 for 6. Time to go to work.
Well, unfortunately, George, for Aaron Cook, he's thrown 9 2/3 over his last 3 outings. Andres Torres with his 3rd at bat already. He takes a look at strike 1. The 32-year-old who first got to the big leagues in 2002.
Another guy.
An awful lot of time in the minor leagues.
Another one of those guys that just did not want to give up and take the uniform off. You can't blame him. Great game to play.
Between 2006 and 2008, he did not have a big league at bat.
Well, think about this. So once a guy has had a little bit of time at the big league level, most teams, I'm not saying the Rockies, I'm not saying the Yankees, but most teams will pay a veteran guy like him $10,000 or $12,000 a month, some of them upwards of 15, to go play for those 5.5 months. Well, where else without, unless you have other plans in life and all you've done for 14 years is play baseball, you go make $60,000 a year doing something you love and an opportunity to get back to add time to the retirement that they also cherish.
Another hit for Torres. He has 2 tonight. 9 hits for the Giants. Rockies have been out hit 9-1. Quest high speed pitch. Sanchez is hit 93. Cook 92. Brought to you by Quest, the high speed internet provider of the Colorado Rockies. Freddie Sanchez is at the plate. Ground ball to 3rd, ground ball to 2nd.
Sanchez out of Oklahoma City University.
There goes Torres, and the throw to 2nd is in time. Great throw by Oliva. Great tag by Tulowitzki. And Torres arguing with Scott Barry.
It's not a 6-0 game. Bruce Bochy may come out and visit the argument. Scott Barry's watching the throw come back. Let's watch the tag. Did his hand get in? Nope. Got him on the hip before the hands got there, but he was disappointed. Thought his hands were in first. You got to be careful. You end up getting yourself tossed out of a ball game. 7th time he's been caught this year. Clearly the tag by Tulowitzki is plenty of time.
He must not have felt it. He was clearly out. And Sanchez is clearly out. 2 outs. That'll bring up Aubrey Huff.
Another look at it. The big bender. And as Buchholz told me the other day, he said things are starting to feel more comfortable. The second deck, all the people at this level. It had been a long, long time since he had experienced this. But his last 4 outings have been very, very good. The first a struggle. He admitted that. In Philadelphia, in front of his friends and family. First time back against a very good Phillies team. And then the next day came back, threw well. 2 days later, threw very well.
Huff hit a deep drive to left his last time up. That fastball on the inside corner. Repair that chip in your windshield. Call Safelite Auto Glass 303-287-5000 online at safelite.com. 1 ball, 1 strike. And another good breaking ball. Huff with Tampa before they got good.
Well, you mentioned bad teams. He was on Tampa, then he was at Baltimore, who has struggled.
And they continue to be a bad team.
Well, a horrible team. Buck Showalter's going to turn it around. Good luck, Buck. And, do what they have to do there. I mean, this is a team that's already lost 70-plus games.
Ground foul. I'm laughing at Buck Showalter, certainly, but it's going to be, and he knows, it's going to be a tall order.
Well, their ownership went out and got Andy MacPhail to run it. Andy's had great success, Twins, World Championship, Cubs playoff. Kind of got out of the picture of being general manager, president, and they bring him over to Baltimore to run the club there. And I mean, Andy's trying to put it together the best he can, but it's not a fix overnight. I mean, it's a 4 or 5 year fix.
This is in the air, left center field. Long run for Spilborghs, and Gonzalez will have to field it. Huff cruises in with a double.
This is when you become 33, 34 years old, and you do get with that good team, and you have a chance to go do something that all you've done for 10 years is watch on TV in October. It starts your motor up and get some pretty good results, and they just continue for Huff.
Now Posey at the plate, a single and a run scored in the first. His 35th RBI. Asked Posey what the biggest adjustment was going from AAA to the big leagues, and he said, I really just kept telling myself and continue to tell myself, don't try to do too much. Stay within yourself.
That's where you really rely on veteran guys to come around and help you through it. Have the manager help you through it, because he's absolutely in the toughest position on the field as a catcher.
And they've added, talk about putting things on his plate, a few weeks back, he goes to the clubhouse, and there he is in the 4-hole.
Right. You're going to carry the team, by the way, and you got to catch. Are you having fun yet? And he's done that, though.
I mean, he has. I mean, they have won 20 of their last 25. Here's the 1-1. And look at this. He's got another RBI base hit. 6-0. San Francisco. Man, this is ugly right now. 11 hits for the Giants. Just 1 for the Rockies. And the thing that kills you is that Jim Tracy's sitting there. There's nothing he can do. You want to go out and be able to compete, but it's kind of hard when you're down by so much so early.
Posey looked bad on a breaking ball earlier. On the Hyundai cam, you see the 4-seam fastball outer half, and he takes it right back up the middle for a base hit on an 88-mile-an-hour fastball.
Great illustration, Georgia, not trying to do too much with a pitch. Pat Burrell was 2 for 2 against Aaron Cook. His last swing, a home run to left center. And that's a line shot into the seats. Burrell hit only a little over 200 with Tampa. Done a nice job here with the Giants hitting better than 270. There's a home run against Cook. Some great years in Philadelphia for Pat Burrell. Product of the University of Miami. Buckle strikes him out of the breaking ball. 3 hits and another run in the inning for San Francisco. They have a 6-0 lead. don't miss his at bat. You get the hot dog the next half inning. You visit the restroom 5 minutes from now. You do not want to miss the at bat of Carlos Gonzalez. Well, the Rockies need a lot of at-bats from Carlos Gonzalez and friends tonight. Giants up 6-0. Cargo will lead it off here in the 4th inning against Jonathan Sanchez, who has struck out 6 in a row. Rockies down 6-0. And he pours that over the inside corner. Not thrown quite as hard as where we've seen him in the past, where he kind of sits on 94. He's topped out at 93 tonight, but he's still been very effective. And of course, the luxury of a big early lead. 4 in the first for San Francisco. 1-1 on Gonzalez, who hit a comebacker that ricocheted off of Sanchez. He was able to scramble and get it to Ishikawa at first in time to get Gonzalez. Todd Helton has the Rockies' only hit. One and 2 on Cargo.
Well, this is the part of the game that's just never really any fun. I mean, see the vibration when it hit him? And a lot of guys have gone to that hockey mask that Charlie O'Brien, a former catcher in the big leagues, actually designed in the beginning to help absorb that shock. And also, you know, guys with long swings that used to catch catchers right on the back side of their head, and it stops that.
That's 7 punch outs in a row. We're going to have to check the Giant media guide to see what the all-time Giant record is. It is 7. That just tied a team record. Today's Fast Cash Sideline Report is brought to you by Fast Cash Gold Centers, where you'll always get 40% more for your gold. Let's check in with Alana.
All right, guys, thanks very much. I've had a couple of fans and viewers wonder what happened to the home run ball that Carlos Gonzalez hit the other day to hit for the cycle and to win the game with that walk-off blast. Well, I talked to Carlos today. He said, I think they did get the ball, but I'm not quite sure. So I did check with Keith Schultz, and it was a very interesting landing. If you remember the hit, it went up to the 3rd deck. It ricocheted off of a Rockies fan and very pleasantly landed in the lap of a Cubs fan that just sat there dejected. First his team loses, then here comes the nail in the coffin souvenir, but the fan was very gracious. He did not ask for anything astronomical. He basically just wanted a signed ball by Carlos Gonzalez. They gave him a game-used ball. Cargo signed a ball for him, and Cargo got the one for the trophy case, guys.
Good ending all the way around. Well, that breaks a string of 7 straight strikeouts. Let me correct something. We're not sure yet. We're still trying to figure out if that's a Giant record, 7 straight strikeouts by a pitcher. It ties a Rockies record offensively in striking out 7 consecutive times. Broken by Tulowitzki's fly ball to Sanchez, or Torres in center, and now Melvin Mora. Mora hit a ball to deep right center his first time up with 2 men on. Thought the Rockies were going to counter with a run or 2 of their own in the first. And Aubrey Huff reached up and made the catch. 1-1. Rockies have won 4 straight. They're 35-18 at home. And this is an easy play for Renteria. That's 10 in a row set down by Jonathan Sanchez.
SFN is brought to you by AT&T. Find out what's possible with the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, rethink possible. By Dex One Marketing Solutions Business Results. And by Hyundai Uncensored, real people, real comments on the 2011 Hyundai Sonata. Visit your Colorado Hyundai dealers today. Pretty night. Not a pretty story at the ballpark so far. The Giants got 4 in the first. They added a run in the third and a run in the fourth. As we go to the fifth, it's 6-0. Aaron Cook lasted just 3 innings. This is the second inning of work for Taylor Buchholz. And Travis Ishikawa swings and misses. Well, now we have it officially. The Giants' team record was 7 straight punch-outs by a pitcher. 1964, a fellow by the name of Juan Marichal, the Hall of Famer.
Wow.
And that was just matched by Jonathan Sanchez. Striking out 7 straight Rockies tonight. Again, the major league record is 10. One and 2 on Ishikawa. What does whip mean in the pitching stats? Frank in Denver wants to know. Walks plus hits, innings pitched. In other words, it gives you an idea of how many base runners are allowed by a pitcher each inning. And if you have, walks plus hits of inning pitched anywhere below 1.4, as this ball's hit well to left center field. And it was misjudged by Strobel.
I think he lost it.
Yeah, he evidently did, because he ran to a spot like he had it, and then he looked up and said, whoa, this is way over my head. Same spot that Aubrey Huff just landed a baseball, so it's a leadoff double for Ishikawa.
Yeah, I really don't think he even saw the baseball, because it's going to slice off of his bat. He's running over to look for it. Then he looks. He thought he was right on top of it. It lands 10 to 15 feet to his left, and one hops the wall.
To finish walks plus hits, innings pitched, the major league average is 1.41 for a pitcher. So anything beneath that obviously is above average. Now your absolute elite pitchers, your Roy Halladay's, they don't walk anybody and they don't give up a lot of hits, they'll be right around 1. Dan Herron, I think, George, he never walks anybody. Last year when he was really good was ridiculous.
Latos is at 0.99. That leads the National League. Ubaldo at 1.12, 6th in the National League.
Pablo Sandoval a single and a double tonight. Two-strike count on Sandoval. First full year last year for Sandoval was a great year. This year, somewhat of a sophomore slump. One ball, 2 strikes.
Let's see how close this ball really came to it, or is it an overreaction? He strides to it and just does get his head out of the way. No 2 pitch up and in. A lot of hitters will object to getting close to the head area. They don't mind the chest and the backside, but they don't like getting up around that head area.
That's out number 1. That'll bring up Renteria. Here's our Excel Energy fun fact for the night. Juan Pierre, old friend, snapped an 809 at-bat homerless streak. Went deep this afternoon. It was the longest active stretch in baseball. Reggie Willits now owns that at 758. Mike Redmond 512. Elvis Andrus 505. You could save up to $100 by leaving your thermostat between 72 and 78 this summer. For more cooling information, check out responsiblebynature.com.
See, I think you could take Redmond off the list. I don't think he's in the big leagues or even playing anymore.
Strikeout for Renteria, and he was intentionally walked in the third inning. Well, you look at some of the numbers on Edgar Renteria, George, in his career.
Big numbers. Drove in over 100 before.
He's had himself quite a run. You know, he's a handful of stolen bases away from 300 in his career. I don't think of him stealing bases right now, but very talented guy who's won a lot of ball games, been on a lot of good teams. Two-time Gold Glove winner, Silver Slugger Award winner 3 times.
Well, upgrade your game experience when you come to the ballpark. The new renovated Mountain Ranch Club. It is awesome, folks. You're sitting out in the open watching a ball game. Hopefully better results than what you're watching tonight. But unique time experience. 303 Rockies for more information.
One and two. Five-time All-Star. Didn't go 2-2. And for Renteria, his most memorable performance, I'm sure, was Game 7 of that '97 World Series when the Marlins beat the Indians, and he had the game-winning hit against Charles Nagy. Two and two at the Chicago at second. Foul tip held by Olivo. Another strikeout, the third for Taylor Buchholz. That'll bring up Jonathan Sanchez. Let's take a look at our AT&T trivia question tonight. Who's the only active player with 100+ runs and 100+ RBIs against the Giants? Sanchez a single and a ground ball to Helton at first. And now pop up to shallow center field.
Lost it. Yeah, you got it back now. Anytime you see an outfielder throw their hands out, start looking around like anybody want to help me here, don't see it. Tough sky right now. 6-0 Giants.
San Francisco, we got the bottom of the 5th inning. Miguel Olivo will lead it off. Rockies haven't had a base runner since the Tulowitzki walked with 2 outs in the first. AT&T trivia question: who is the only active player with 100+ runs, 100+ RBIs against the Giants? It has to be Helton, wouldn't it be? 129 runs, 110 ribbies. Sanchez allowed a Helton single in the first and a 2-out walk to Tulowitzki. Milt Mora drove one to deep right center. That was the Rockies' only scoring chance. I want to tell you, it was their best. It's their only scoring chance. Sanchez has retired 10 in a row. He struck out Olivo to lead off the 2nd inning. That began a string of 7 straight punch outs. And then he gets the fastball by Miguel. Great crowd tonight. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to cheer about anything. 1-1 as we check another text message. Why are certain catchers paired with certain pitchers? Jeff and Littleton.
I don't think see that much anymore. I mean, some guys have more success. I mean, you don't have the. I mentioned his name a minute ago. Probably the most prominent, Charlie O'Brien, that caught Greg Maddux every single time that he was behind the plate with Atlanta. I mean, there is certain guys, but you know, there's certain guys that mix well together. Like Miguel Olivo and Ubaldo Jimenez mix well together.
Last year, Miguel Olivo and Zach Greinke. Managers, I know a lot of them philosophically try to stay away from that.
Creates a bad thing for you. It really does as a manager.
And the strikeout number 8 for Sanchez. That'll bring up Brad Hopp. Brad caught looking his first time. Jonathan Sanchez, originally a 27th round pick in 2004. Sanchez, a native of Puerto Rico, played college baseball in Ohio. Went to Ohio Dominican in Columbus, George, where he threw 4 no-hitters.
Yeah, it's one of those kids coming out of high school that a lot of people didn't know an awful lot about. He was 6 foot, threw the ball, but was very wild. Wasn't much of a polished product, so he ends up at a small school and it just dominates.
2-0 on Bradley. 3-0.
Randy Flores has started to loosen up down in the Rockies bullpen.
And that misses. So the Rockies have their first base runner since the first inning. A 1-out walk here in the 5th. There's Randy. Clint Barmas coming up. For Jonathan Sanchez, he threw the first no-hitter, we said, since John Montefiusco for the Giants back in the 70s. He was the first no-hitter by a left-handed Giant since Carl Hubble in 1929. That's a pretty famous left-hander, Carl Hubble.
Yeah, he was pretty good. Guy you'd want on your team. Yeah, every third day at that time.
Ian Stewart with a helmet, with Buchholz due up next. Cubs are only down 3-1 tonight, George.
That's better than let's see, what they give up 31 runs here. Is that right? 3 games?
Yeah, and then they give up 18
last night. 49-4 is not a good number.
2 balls and a strike. Got another text question, George. Go back to your minor league days when a player is sent down to AAA. Does that team then have to send a player from AAA to AA?
Yes, they do. They have roster stipulations there, much just like the big leagues. 25-man roster, and then they have 25 in AA also. So when you send guys down, that's why you hear people talk about the ripple effect. When big league guys get sent down, it doesn't just affect a couple of people.
This ball's roped to deep left. Burrell gets back, makes the catch. Good swing by Barmes. Didn't get the result he was looking for, though. And with 2 outs and just a runner at first, Buchholz will hit for himself here. Geico quote of the day. Remember this: 1% of ball players are leaders of men. The other 99% are followers of women. John McGraw. Some would say that would apply to more than just ball players, George. Here's the 0-1 on Taylor. Shattered bat and a base hit for Buchholz. What did he say to G. Hill? Got all that.
No, he ran down. He said, "My hands are really killing me right now."
Probably more likely what you said.
Yeah, my hands are just fried right now. Hyundai Cam on the inside. Let's see, get in on the knuckles. Oh no, got a little bit down on the label. Shatters the bat, but you come up with a base hit.
2 on for Spilborghs. Go ahead, hit a 3-run bomb. Get the Rockies right back in this thing.
Get the crowd back in it, too. Another nice crowd here at Coors Field to watch the Rockies in a midweek ball game. Drew very well with the Cubs in town. And the Pirates.
And that misses 2-0.
He's averaging right at about 6 innings per start.
That's low. 3-0 with Helton on deck. And if you're wondering about Taylor Buchholz at first, we were. That is not his first career hit. It is 6 career hits now.
It's the first after surgery.
There you go.
How's that?
Give him the baseball.
Right.
Spilborghs with the 3-0 and ball 4. This is what Sanchez does periodically. It's why he's not been a big winner in the big leagues. Dave Righetti, the guy who speaks lefty, George, goes out.
Well, he's not very happy right now to come out. His club leading 6-0, and all of a sudden you load the bases up, and you got Helton coming to the plate, and then you get to Gonzalez, and it even gets worse after that. Take a look at another text.
Why do some of the bats have hollowed out ends? That's Al up in Casper.
It's all about weight. You cup the end of it out to help the weight of the bat. Some guys like a big cup, a little cup, half cup, full cup that they take out of the end of the bat, but it's all about the weight at the end of the bat. Helton is 1 for 3 this year with the bases loaded. The Rockies have hit just 204 with the bases loaded this year. Well, Righetti more than likely told Sanchez, if you feel comfortable going to the windup, go to the windup. If you feel more comfortable out of the stretch, stay in the stretch. Bruce Bochy managed a lot of games in this ballpark. He will not allow this thing to get carried away and say, oh, I hope you get the win. He'll go to the bullpen much quicker.
Here we go. Bases loaded and a pop fly down the left field line. Burrell has plenty of room. And he makes the catch in foul ground. 6-0 San Francisco. We move on to the 6th inning. Look back. First inning, a rough one for Aaron Cook. He gave up 4 runs on 6 hits. Buster Posey had an RBI hit. Pat Burrell has always hit well against Aaron Cook, an RBI single. And that ball went up the middle. They were 5 for 6. The Giants were in that first inning. Sandoval threw one out there, 5 for 6 with runners in scoring position. And Jonathan Sanchez got out of a first inning jam, and then at one point he struck out 7 Rockies in a row, which tied a franchise record. Pat Burrell against Aaron Cook, hammered a slider. That made it 5-0. The Giants added a run against Taylor Buchholz. It's the look back, not a pretty one. It's brought to you by Cooney Lexus, where luxury has an address. Third inning of work for Buchholz, top of the order. Andres Torres is 2 for 3. The one time the Rockies got him out, it was a line drive to Tulowitzki. And that fastball on the inside corner for a strike at 88. And what you'll see probably not until next year, though, George, is the velocity coming back for Buchholz. Instead of 88 to 90, 91, you'll see Buchholz hopefully a year from now, back up low to mid-90s.
It usually takes that 1 year to catch back up. It really does, if you do. And some guys, depending on the number of innings, wear and tear, age, all those things play a role into that answer. But the one thing he's been able to keep is that nice, hard Yellowhammer 12-6 hook.
1-2 on Torres. We were talking earlier about Torres' path back to the big leagues. 3 years, 06 through 08, wasn't in the big leagues at all. Even this year, it's not like the Giants were counting on him to bat in the leadoff role and to be a catalyst for him. He was the 5th outfielder when they broke camp.
You open the eyes up of people by the way you play the game. Obviously, he played it right.
Freddie Sanchez coming up. He's 0 for 3. The only player not to have reached in this ball game for the Giants. Amica, it's not how you're covered, it's how you are treated.
Well, you can see he's a very crafty little hitter. A guy that likes the ball up in the zone a little bit. He likes to hit the ball to the right side of the field. Not somebody that will typically pull the ball a lot.
By his standards, he hasn't had a real good year. Former National League batting champion. He has only 9 extra base hits the whole year. Rocky shade him toward right center, and that's where he likes to direct the baseball. And he got one to turn on, and he may have hit this one out. He did. for Sanchez, just his second home run of the year, and it's 7-0 San Francisco. That's where the extra little giddy up, George. That fastball came in at 89. It's not all about velocity, I realize that, but that extra velocity that Buchholz has had in the past, when it returns, that ball may break his bat.
Right, you can see where this pitch is, right in the 379 area that we showed you earlier on the Amica hit zone. And that's exactly where he got it. Middle half in, velocity at 92, 94. Maybe that ball has a little more ride to it, a little velocity, get on you quicker. You don't have the same result.
Aubrey Huff, a walk, a deep drive to left that was caught by Spilborghs, and a double to left center. He went around as they check with Jerry Davis, the crew chief.
Now you can see that storm that was in South Denver, wind starting to howl as you look at these flags out here above the scoreboard, blowing straight in. So hopefully that storm stays out of here.
Let's not even talk about it.
Okay, no storm. Wasn't my idea to show it anyway. Well, actually it was. I just don't control it, but yeah, I kind of, talked about it.
1 and 2 on Aubrey Huff. You know what's really impressive about Huff, in addition to his terrific numbers this year, 300+ average, 20 home runs, 65 RBIs. He's walked 54 times. Power hitter, George. He has struck out only 49 times. More walks than punch outs for a middle of the order guy.
Well, he's being asked to be a middle order guy. You know, before that he was more of a top of the order guy, and so I think that's what helped him with it. And all of a sudden he comes over here and he turns into a middle of the order guy on a very good team. He can handle the bat.
Two outs. Buster Posey coming up. Here's the in-game box score on San Francisco. And a lot of guys have multiple hits in the game. 7 runs, 13 hits for the Giants. This has been a lopsided affair. The Giants got off to the very quick start, 4-0. There's no line. You can't win a game in the first inning, but you can lose it. When you're down 4-0 early and you got a quality arm that you're facing, it makes it real tough. Couple RBI singles tonight for Posey. Posey, catcher and shortstop at Florida State, and also their closer, in the low 90s. From the southern part of Georgia. He actually played on a tournament team with East Cobb, with Dexter Fowler down in Florida one year when the two of them were in high school. And Posey walks on 4 pitches.
A lot of guys that have the opportunity to go to different type of showcases and events throughout baseball. And East Cobb, one of those really good teams off of the southeast area of the United States. Under Armour starting to sponsor a lot of teams. Nike. Perfect Game has their showcases. This is where a lot of friendships are made that end up in the big leagues.
Pat Burrell 2 for 3.
We're having an opportunity on August the 15th to go out and televise or work the ball game, as an announcer I should say, the Aflac High School All-American game. Jason Hayward, the recent graduate from that ball game, obviously number 1 pick of Atlanta to the big leagues. A lot of other very good players have played in it. They're on the verge of getting here to the big leagues.
And now 6 straight out of the zone. Buchholz may be fatiguing a little bit.
Getting extended pretty good. Flores, that's why he's up. A couple of outs and a 2-0 count.
Rockies we'll have another off day next Monday in New York. Repair that chip in your windshield. Call Safelite Auto Glass 303-287-5000 or go to safelight.com. Giants 16 games over 500. The last time they were this far removed from 500, the end of the 2004 season. Finished 20 games over that year. Now it's 3-0. They haven't been this close to first place this late in the season since late September of 04. Actually, in 04 they finished 19 over 500. 3-1. And the Giants always tough at home, but they're doing a really good job of late on the road. They've won 4 in a row on the road. They've won 8 of 9. In fact, over their last 31 road encounters, they're 19-12, which is the second best mark in baseball. Last few months away from home. Now Burrow walks, and with Ishikawa coming up, Jim Tracy will go and get the lefty Randy Flores. He was hoping to get Buchholz through this inning, but clearly Taylor has tired, and Randy Flores will come aboard. It's all San Francisco tonight. I wish I could tell you a different story. 7-0. Checked in with Alana in a couple innings. Alana, what you up to?
Well, I just, since we had a moment, guys, wanted to welcome all of the kids from the Maccabi games here. From August 1st through August 6th, Denver is welcoming over 1,500 Jewish athletes from the ages of 12 to 16, over 1,000 volunteers, and 600 host families. And they're here, and it's basically an Olympic-style sporting event, an Olympic-style competition that is a combination of sports, cultural, and social activities. And there's delegates from all over, not only this great country, but from all over the world, 32 different delegations. And I'm sitting here right now with Teddy on my right and Taylor on my left, and these two delegates are from Great Britain, and all of the kids came to the Rockies game, and this is the first baseball game for these two young men, guys.
What sport do they play, Alana?
They both play soccer.
There you go. Good deal. Well, welcome, and hopefully they'll have a marvelous time in our terrific state. Randy Flores will face Travis Ishikawa with 2 outs, a run already in for the Giants. Home run by Freddie Sanchez. Buchholz went 2 2/3. Aaron Cook went 3 innings. And Flores will match up with Ishikawa, who's 2 for 3 in the game. The one time the Rockies got him out, it was a line shot to left field. A lot of hits, a lot of loud outs tonight for the Giants.
Yeah, there has been. And Ishikawa was one of those guys tough to figure out. When he's at home, he barely hits 200, but out on the road, he hits nearly 370. It's a big difference, huge number. Very good defensive first baseman.
He was given an opportunity to play every day for a while last year. Just wasn't consistent enough offensively. Here's the 1-1, and that is a line drive. Is a catch made? Yeah. Carlos Gonzalez laying out and making the catch to rob Ishikawa of a hit and at least one RBI. That ball gets by him. That may be inside the park territory. What a great catch. The Coors Light freeze cam. Great throw in the first inning by Ryan Spilborghs to Miguel Olivo to cut down Travis Ishikawa. That's how the Rockies recorded their final out in that first inning. That would have been the 5th run. Coors Light freeze cam. Giants have made a defensive change. Pat Burrell comes out of the game. Aubrey Huff goes from right to left, and Nate Shearholtz goes into right field. Jonathan Sanchez continuing on. Carlos Gonzalez, Troy Tulowitzki, Melvin Mora here in the 6th inning. Gonzalez a 5-game hitting streak, a comebacker and a strikeout. Sanchez has allowed only 2 hits. And it's ball 1. Gonzalez, the National League Player of the Week for his work over the last 7 days.
Well, justifiably so. The last 14 games at Coors Field, pretty special. 492, 8 home runs, 19 RBIs with to hit for the cycle. Walk-off home run cycle.
Fargo hit .533 last week with 4 home runs. He hit .382 in the month of July with 9 home runs. He's a strong candidate for Player of the Month in July. You and I both voted for him. And sharply hit, but Freddie Sanchez moves over and throws out Gonzalez. Time for today's Haynes Comfort Zone. Colorado bullpen struggled in June, much better in July. But the pen is really in a comfort zone this season, brought to you by Haynes. Tulowitzki, a fly ball to center field in the 4th. He walked back in the 1st. Helton has 1 hit. Buchholz has 1 hit. 2 got. Sanchez made his debut at the Giants back in May of '06. First three hitters he faced: Todd Helton, Matt Halliday, and Garrett Atkins. Welcome to the big leagues, huh?
Having fun yet?
1-0 on Mora. Boy, the guys up here are really good. I remember watching these guys. Text message again. How's a starting pitcher's arm conditioned differently than a reliever's?
Well, obviously they're conditioned to go out and go more ball games, and where, you know, in other words, starting pitchers are going to go deeper into games where relief pitchers are going to be an inning and a third at a time most, but they're going to pitch in 65 games a year, 55 to 65. Whereas the starter's going to make 33 starts. He's just going to get a lot more innings. It's the work and the way you prepare for it as a starting pitcher.
And also warming up quite different, George.
Well, sometimes. I mean, you look out there, Drew, you see some relievers wait till the mess is cleared and then they say they're ready. Other guys want in the middle of the mess to get out of it in a hurry. Joe Bima, one of those guys, gets in, gets out of there in a hurry. It's what I always said. You know, a lot of times those guys coming out of the pen, we always used to say, you got a man down, we got to get going. You start firing and get ready as fast as you can.
This ball driven with authority to deep right again by Mora. And Shearholtz will have to play it off the wall, and Melvin's got a double. That was similar to the ball he hit in the first inning that was caught by Aubrey Huff.
He's done a nice job going to the opposite field now, starting to do it with a little bit of authority, too, and that's what he does with this pitch. Fastball away, 91. A couple of outs in the inning, and you know, again, Sanchez trying to work the strike zone. Melvin Mora made him pay for it with that line drive off of that auxiliary scoreboard. Tell him how Shearholtz got there, not a chance. By the way, the Giants do have back their closer now, Brian Wilson, who was out with back spasms over the weekend against the Dodgers. Romo got a save. Casilla, they've got the other save. There was Ray that got the save, and Casilla. Two hard throwers.
They've gone out and bolstered their bullpen a little bit more with the addition. As Oliva swings and misses, 0-2. With the addition of Javi Lopez, we chatted about him earlier, and also another former Rocky, Ramon Ramirez, picked up from the Red Sox. And he's
that surprised me a little
tonight.
bit. He did a nice job for the Red Sox. Again, he gets more ammunition to run out of that bullpen. Makes the choices for Bochy a little easier.
Both of those guys at Coors Field recently. Obviously, Javi Lopez was just here a few days ago, makes his home in the Golden area. And Ramon Ramirez was here about a month or so ago with the Red Sox. 7-0. Rockies have been out hit 13-3. 1-2 on Miguel Olivo. More at second. And it's been a rough night for Miguel. Sanchez has fanned him 3 times. 9 strikeouts for Jonathan Sanchez. 6 innings complete. Giants 7, Rockies nothing.
Baseball on FSN is brought to you by the Great Colorado Payback, reuniting you with your money. By Exempla Healthcare, most hearts, most experience, stjosephheart.org. And by Big Brothers Big Sisters, be big and donate your car. You get a free tow and tax break, and you help change a kid's life. Giants jumped out to a 4-0 lead against Aaron Cook in the first. They had 6 hits in the inning. Aaron was gone after giving up 5 in 3 innings. Taylor Buchholz pitched the next 2 2/3, giving up a couple of runs. Randy Flores got the final out in the 6th, and here he is in the 7th. He'll face Sandoval, Renteria, and Jonathan Sanchez.
They got out of that 6th inning on a great catch by Gonzalez in center field. Outs and out. Take him any way you can get him in a 7-0 ball game where you've been out hit 13-3.
Pablo Sandoval, a hit now in 6 straight. And he fouls this pitch off. Sandoval, not only a switch hitter, but he's ambidextrous. He throws the ball well lefty, and every once in a while, when he's taken infield, George, just getting a couple of throws in between innings. When we're in commercial break, he'll flip the glove down on the ground and fire it lefty over to first base.
Yeah, just talented guy. That's the best way to put it. Just an extremely talented player.
Tulowitzki. 1 out.
Hey, the local Rockies dugout stores, they can help you get everything you need for back to school. And oh yeah, that dreaded thing's coming up, isn't it? It's getting towards the end of the summer. School's getting ready to start. 303-832-TEAM will help you find some locations, or ColoradoRockies.com for more information. I like that guy, and I like that guy.
How about the baby blues, huh? Sharp looking kid, dressed well. 0-1 on Edgar Renteria. A couple of strikeouts and an intentional walk tonight for Renteria. Milwaukee's beating the Cubs again, George, 4-2. Is anybody going to dine with Lou tonight?
You know what? And you feel bad for a guy announced the retirement to come in here and get whipped 31-3 over 3 games, 18-1 yesterday. I mean, is it better that he goes ahead and retires now and just goes on home for the last 2 months? He's not a quitter. He's not going to want to do that on his own. Somebody would have to suggest it, maybe even force it to him, and then let Trammell take it the last couple of months. Tough to sit and watch what's going on over there right now. It's not pretty.
And Flores loses Renteria. Tell you what's not pretty. The Cardinals at home against the Houston Astros, George. They're about to lose their 5th straight in St. Louis to the Astros. They're down 14-4 in the 8th inning.
Well, let me tell you something. This is going to surprise you a little bit. The highest winning percentage since July 5th. Think about this. The Giants have played well.
Yeah.
20-5. Then you go Tampa Bay. Popped up into the seats. Tampa Bay at 18-6. Respect that. The White Sox, phenomenal. 17-7. They play good baseball. The Yankees at 16-8. The Houston Astros are the 5th winningest team at 14-8 since July 5th.
Unfortunately for Houston, the season started back in April.
Absolutely. But I mean, again, a new manager, new coaching staff, new pitching coaches. Maybe they're starting to catch on a little bit what Brad Mills is trying to do.
Sacrificed by Sanchez. 5-4. And Renteria to second base. That'll bring up Torres. 2 for 4 tonight for Andres Torres. Dodger Stadium, 2nd inning, 2-1. Dodgers leading the Padres. Here's the 1-0 to Torres. And this is in the air to center field, and Cargo almost overran it. Leaped at the last second and made the catch. Middle of 7. Giants up 7-0. Stretch time at Coors Field. Race. They're up 2-1 tonight. 72% think the Dodgers are done. Brad Hopp here in the bottom of the 7th inning against Jonathan Sanchez, who has been staked to a large lead and has pitched very, very well. He's allowed 2 singles and a double tonight. Hilton the first inning single. Buchholz had a broken bat single in the 5th, and Mora a 2-out double last inning. Rockies have not come close to scoring.
Well, he's averaged just about 6 innings per start. Talking about Sanchez, 22nd start, 120-something innings. So, you know, you don't anticipate him going, even though he's got 3 hits. He could go deeper, but he's at 94 pitches right now. They've had their bullpen up once before.
He had an ERA of 6.75 and a 2-4 record coming into the ball game in his career matchups with the Rockies. Ball and 2 strikes on Hopp. 2-2. Bimo for the Rockies. Ramon Ramirez in the Giants bullpen.
He just joined the ball club too. They just made a transaction, or had a transaction today to make room for him. So I'd like to get him out and get him in some National League action.
Slider misses. 3-2. Brad draws a walk for the 2nd time in the ball game. Four walks allowed by Sanchez. Clint Barnes hit it hard in the 5th inning, a line drive to deep left. Rockies beat Sanchez back on May 2nd, 4-1. In fact, they had him out of the ball game after 4 2/3. But tonight he's been economical. He's been terrific. Of course, it helps to have a big early lead. 10th career start against the Rockies. you know, those 10 starts, only 2 have been quote-unquote quality starts, as he is being replaced now. And he'll have another quality start in this one, just his 3rd. So Ramon Ramirez will take over. Sanchez walks off leading 7-0. The Rockies have Brad Hopp at first, a leadoff walk. Jonathan Sanchez was removed from the ball game, and Ramon Ramirez will face Clint Barmas, 2 former teammates. Barmas been around for a long time. He remembers when Ramon Ramirez was pitching for the Rockies.
That's last season.
Yeah, last year he had 70 appearances. This year, 40+ appearances in a Boston uniform.
Hard slider, very good fastball. He can run to 96. It'll average anywhere from 92 to 94 miles an hour. He'll throw the slider a second amount of time behind his fastball. It'll be secondary pitch of 27%. He'll throw it all the way up to 91 and turns it into a short cutter. And then he'll take also the changeup and throw it out there too. So a 3-pitch mix coming out of the bullpen. Did a very, very nice job. The Boston Red Sox ran out of room in the bullpen.
Two 2-0 on Barmas. Stewart's come out in the on-deck circle. Ramirez had a couple of saves this year with Boston.
Hey, remember Papelbon went down for a while. Out of their bullpen, so they kind of did a bullpen by committee. The Red Sox starting to play better baseball again. Tonight, 3-1 over Cleveland.
They got an uphill battle.
Well, you got 2 teams to jump. You got Tampa and you have the Yankees. That's not going to be easy to do.
I think they're the 2 best teams in baseball.
Toronto beat New York tonight 8-2.
And Tampa beat Minnesota 6-4, so Tampa's now at first in the American League East. 2-2. And this is down the right field line. Wynn's got it. And drops foul. Let's check a text message. This being Tuesday night, brought to you by Office Liquidators. Do you feel like this game is more about Cook's lack of performance or Sanchez's great outing? For me, to be honest, I think it's more about Aaron's continuing struggles, George.
Well, he struggled, obviously, in his performance, and Bob Apodaca didn't like it either, neither did Tracy, but also what Sanchez did, too. I mean, both guys, one did what he's supposed to do, and the other one didn't. It's plain simple.
But in terms of being if I'm a follower of the Rockies going forward from here,
you can't go out and give up 5 or 6 and think you're going to win a ball game. And for Aaron, he gave up 5 and 3.
And it's that has been more of a continuing theme, unfortunately, as Aaron tries to work out some things, and that puts Jim Tracy in a bind as you have reached the final couple of months of the season, and the Rockies have catching up to do. That'll be more, I think, what you read tomorrow in the paper, unless the Rockies make a dramatic comeback. Ball 4, so Barnes works out a walk. 2 on for Ian Stewart with nobody out.
Yeah, Bruce Bochy has seen this in this ballpark more than one time, and he doesn't want to see a repeat of it again. Getting on the phone down there. Remember, they only have the one left-hander in their bullpen, and Javier Lopez, and Gonzalez hit a monster home run off of him on the third deck when he was in Pittsburgh last week.
You would think he's holding them back for the Helton Gonzalez duo there.
He's getting loose in the bullpen. So Stewart 1 for 5 with a couple RBIs. Ray will join the right-hander. Acquired from Texas the last time San Francisco was in town.
Stewart had a big-time hack there at a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. 1-1. Seth Smith for Ryan Spilborghs, perhaps. You've got the hat on, George. I don't know where else Jim Tracy would utilize him coming up.
That's the only place. Take the shot at winning the game or getting the game close when it presents itself.
2-2.
Still pretty heavy winds here. You get a ball very high in the sky, could create problems.
And this is a high fly ball that could create problems. That's foul. Unfortunately, Geschirholz couldn't catch it, just as you said, George.
And outfielders play the first part of a ball game, the first 3 or 4 innings, playing a certain wind or a ballpark a certain way, and then they can look at the flags, but until you experience it, you don't know what the ball's going to do. This ball just hit a wall and dropped straight down. Geschirholz didn't get close to it at all.
Two. And pulled foul. Rockies trying to find a way to get back in this thing. Foul tip held. That's 1 out. So Stewart is gone. And Seth Smith will hit for Spilborghs. Now will Bochy counter here with Lopez. Now he has 3 lefties in a row. Yep, he's going to bring in Javi Lopez. He's going to play his two new guys back to back here. The additions to the Giant bullpen. So Javier Lopez will be aboard when we come back. 7-0 Giants. He's 13-3. There's 1 out, 2 on. Javier Lopez, who was just in town with the Pittsburgh Pirates, will face the pinch hitter Seth Smith, and Todd Helton's on deck.
That's the left-on-left matchup you're looking for. Smith is hitting 175 against left-handers. 52nd appearance for Lopez, doing what he normally does. That is against left-handers. Home runs, a couple. One of those Carlos Gonzalez mentioned just a minute ago.
So Smith against Lopez. Hop at second. He walked. Barmas at first. He also walked. High ball one. It's getting worse, by the way, in St. Louis. Now 17-4 Houston.
Hawksworth start that game for the Cardinals today, Doug?
Well, George, if it was Hawksworth, I guarantee you he's not still in the game.
No, he or Suppan. I mean, those are...
This is pulled foul. Today's schedule. George, I'm looking it up, and it was Jaime Garcia.
Wow.
Jaime Garcia.
Another guy they thought of as a Rookie of the Year candidate, right, Doug?
9-4 coming in. I think he may be going out 9-5 in his next start.
Don't really think there's any maybe about it. Dodgers on top of the Padres 2-1 in the fourth. 5 innings, 10 hits, 8 runs, 4 earned against Garcia. A lot of errors made behind it. Brad Penny playing catch again, but not anywhere near being ready to go into the rotation. That's why they made the move for Westbrook from the Cleveland Indians.
He started yesterday. 2-2.
Is that anything of importance that just flew out of the booth that was yours?
I hope not. It's like a paper airplane. It's up at Fort Collins already.
Yeah, it's not in the ballpark. I don't know where if it landed on your windshield behind the park, but it's not in the ballpark.
Thing had wings. Good job hanging in there by Smith. to first. Ishikawa gets one, and return throw not in time. So first and third with 2 outs. Hop to third. Smith trades places with Barmes. Another text message. Why did Helton rehab in Casper, not Colorado Springs? Colorado Springs was out on the West Coast. They were playing in Sacramento and Fresno. Sacramento Friday night. Over the rest of the weekend they were in Fresno. So,
well, 3-hour drive to it. Todd being the ultimate professional with that young crowd up there. I'll just tell you, folks, it's not the big leagues. You get peanut butter and jelly sandwiches before or after batting practice with, if you're lucky, a couple of oranges. And then after the game, they do bring in meals for you, donated by restaurants. So Todd spent a pretty good chunk of cash and fed them before the game and after the game for all 3 games. This guy's pretty excited up there. And that's not a 25-man roster there, folks. It's about a 45-man roster. A lot of the young Latin players that have come over and have their first experience of professional baseball. High school players having their first shot at it. Some higher draft picks have to end up there in Casper.
There's several players on that roster that were born in '91, and as Todd said, I'm almost 20 years older than some of those guys.
Yeah, Todd, 3 straight days they average over 3,500 a game when they typically average around 12 to 1,500.
2-1. Todd said he was impressed by a couple of the young players up there.
Well, it's fun to go up and watch because they're hungry. They want to get where Todd Helton is. Only a very small amount of those kids will get that chance.
2-2. Helton a single in the first, strikeout and a foul out. Fouled out down the left field line with the bases loaded in the 5th with 2 outs. Here's the 2-2. 3-2. Todd was saying it's fun seeing all those kids, as you said, George, that are hungry. Hope to get to the big leagues one day. Ball 4. So Helton walks. And now the bases are loaded for Carlos Gonzalez. And of course, just a few days ago, Cargo matched up with Lopez and hit one 3 miles.
Hanging slider that went on the 3rd deck facade here at Coors Field. Rockies crowd hadn't had a lot to cheer about, but they do now with this young man at the plate and the bases loaded.
Rockies have received 6 walks in the game. And ordinarily, that means the Rockies are scoring a bunch of runs. When they draw at least 5 walks in a game, they average almost 7 runs per game.
Well, if they don't average the strikeouts they have tonight with Sanchez. I mean, he struck out 9 over those 6.
So here we go. Bases loaded and 2 outs. And a line drive gloved by Sanchez. That was headed to the gap in right center field. In the third inning, Pat Burrell hit one a long way against Aaron Cook. Burrell's hit a lot of home runs in his big league career. That made it 5-0 San Francisco. A little bit later on, the Giants got a home run from Freddie Sanchez. Well, Smith hit for Spilboards, and Seth remains in the ballgame in left field. And the Rockies have made a change on the hill after the pinch hit for Flores. It'll be Joe Bible here in the 8th inning.
'47th time Joe Bimel's come out. Joe has been a great addition, as he was a year ago. He left for a little bit, came back to spring training as free agent. Just his demeanor on the mound really gives you a calming influence for a ball club.
Ball and a strike on Freddie. Aubrey Huff on deck. And Bimal with the off-speed delivery gets a swinging strike, 1-2. Nice catch by Sanchez to keep the Rockies off the board. Stealing a hit from Carlos Gonzalez a moment ago. Tulowitzki pats his glove, double clutch, and plenty of arm.
By the way, the 17 holes that Bimal has this year, this is not a hole situation because the Rockies not winning, but he's getting some work in, eating some innings up. He has 17. That's 6th in the National League. The Rockies bullpen's done a pretty good job with it. Gregerson of San Diego leads it with 25.
We were talking about this the other day. Guys who have 20+ home runs and are hitting over 300. Carlos Gonzalez is one of those guys. Joey Votto, another one of those guys. Albert Pujols has moved his average back above 300, so he just joined the list in the last day or two. Aubrey Huff, one of those guys. In the American League, there's a bunch. Hamilton, Cabrera, Vladimir Guerrero, Paul Konerko, and a couple of Yankees, Nick Swisher and Robinson Cano. Buster Posey, 2 for 3 and a walk. About 3 hits. That's a low maintenance swing too, George.
Well, very high. I tell you what, a lot of top spin on that line drive, hit center field, and a matter of time for this guy to get up. Pedro Alvarez, another kid that people put a big headlines over the top of. Posey's the one guy that's not only writing stories, he's writing his own headlines too. This guy's been pretty good.
First at bat for Nate Shearholtz came in a couple of innings ago. For Pat Burrell defensively. That's Roberto Kelly at first.
Well, make sure you don't miss any of the excitement or the action here at Coors Field in the second half. Purchase a second half mini plan today. That's right. You can get a mini plan by like 15 games. 303 Rockies or ColoradoRockies.com for more information on mini plan tickets.
You mentioned Hamilton a moment ago. Did you see what Josh Hamilton's hitting, George?
378, if I'm not mistaken. 368 along that. And he's also got a lot of home runs and a lot of RBIs.
Yes, 362. Barmes, great pickup. Did he get the out at second? He did. What a terrific play by Clint Barmes to end the 8th inning, getting the force on Buster Posey. Place. Rockies fell behind early, 4-0 after first inning, and saw the Giants produce 6 hits, and they just added on. And Jonathan Sanchez was outstanding. At one point, he struck out 7 consecutive Rockies. Aaron Cook, unfortunately, lasted just 3 innings tonight. Pat Burrell, a couple of hits, including another home run for Burrell. And Freddie Sanchez, just his 2nd home run of the year. Ecotech Institute in Denver. Chris Ray is the new pitcher for the Giants. It'll be his 13th appearance since coming from the American League.
6 strikeouts. Kind of surprising by that, working out late in the game. So a very good fastball. Average 94 coming out of the bullpen. Slider, curveball. He will throw a split finger, but that's his 4th best pitch. Look hard sinker and slider.
Troy Tulowitzki leading off. Tulowitzki is 0 for 2. He walked back in the 1st inning.
A very herky type jerky delivery. Watch it. You'll see it.
It'll
be herky, then it's going to be jerky.
Yeah, I've heard herky jerky, not herky type jerky.
Yeah, it's kind of like beef jerky. I had elk jerky yesterday.
How was it?
Very good. Manny Corpus working down in the bullpen now for the Rockies after Bimel's 1 inning of work, and expect to see Manuel in the 9th.
Tulowitzki getting more comfortable every day, coming off that wrist injury. A couple of days ago, played in his 500th career game. He'll play in a lot more than that. Melvin Moore on deck. Melvin has hit the ball hard tonight. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Troy Tulowitzki. And they got him with a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. It's the 11th strikeout of the night for the Rockies.
Outside corner with some movement. Pretty good position on that fastball.
Moore a double in the 6th inning, robbed of extra bases back in the first. Nice catch by Aubrey Huff on a ball he initially misread. Ray, the Orioles closer back in 06. He had 33 saves that year. And the next year, he had Tommy John surgery. Shearholtz will have room. Two outs. That'll bring up Miguel Olivo. Well, fans, if you'd like to receive text message alerts when the Rockies score 7 or more runs for the Rockies Taco Special, here's what you do. Text the keyword TACO to 95323. Rough ride tonight for Miguel. 3 strikeouts. And that's in there for a strike. Go way out front. That George herky-jerky delivery there really adds deception to that breaking ball.
Very quick arm to go along with that really wild front side. That's part of the deception. It happens. It's a really quick arm.
Poke to left, and the catch is made by Huff. Rockies go 1-2-3 against Ray in the 8th inning. 7-0 San Francisco. To you by Xfinity Voice, unlimited local and long distance. Call 1-800-XFINITY. By Geico, 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by King Soopers, our people make the difference. Giants up 7-0, top of the 9th inning. The Rockies have just 3 hits tonight. Tom Helmer will anchor the postgame show coming up after the final 3 outs in this one.
Yeah, we'll be talking about sinking feeling. Aaron Cook struggles again out of the hill. We'll talk about what the future may hold for him. Also, Johnny Be Good, Jonathan Sanchez, great effort on the hill today for the San Francisco Giants. We'll break down his performance as well. And, of course, get you down into the clubhouse. It's all right after the game on the Rockies postgame report. Drew.
All right, Tom. Travis Ishikawa will be the first to face Manuel Corpus, his 49th appearance this year. And the league hitting .248 against Manuel. Ishikawa has a couple hits in 4 trips tonight. Ishikawa from the state of Washington, which despite all you hear about the rain out there. It's a pretty good baseball stage. Hoff throws some leather at it, couldn't get it. That ball was roped, and Ishikawa into second with a double. So a 3-hit night for Ishikawa, and his second double of the evening. Jumped on the first pitch. $43,149 in the ballpark tonight. And unfortunately, we've seen the Giants dominate the Rockies. Sandoval, line drive to left. And that got up in the light bank. Seth Smith did a good job battling the lights. 1 out. Not only do the Giants have 15 hits this evening, they have a number of line drive outs.
Hard outs.
Renteria 0 for 2, couple of walks tonight. Way inside, 2-0 on Renteria. When you think of baseball in the Caribbean, you think most notably of baseball played in the Dominican, Puerto Rico, certainly, and then Venezuela. Well, this matchup, kid from Panama against a kid from Colombia.
First Panamanian I played against, Rennie Stennett with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Very good, great player until he hurt the ankle sliding into second base.
Rennie won ball game, went 7 for 7. That's in there, 2-2. Renteria had a couple of brothers who played professional baseball. He's the only one to get to the big leagues. Hard on the ground to third. The ball came up at the end. Mora with soft hands throws out Renteria. 2 outs. Just ball come up at the end, George.
Yep, Juan Uribe's coming up too. Going to get an at bat for tomorrow. It's right there. You get a lot of traffic with base runners around that third base area, and where you stand as a third baseman in and out. Sometimes that ball will catch just the smallest amount of dirt and pop it straight up in the air.
Juan Uribe is going to pinch hit for Chris Ray. And a ground ball up the middle, a base hit. And Ishikawa is going to score the 8th run for San Francisco. For Uribe, that's just his 4th hit against the Rockies all year in 37 at bats.
2 for 4 as a pinch hitter now. His first RBI. We have 62 RBIs on the season, though. First pitch offering from Manuel Corpus right back up the middle, and the run scores.
And he's second on the club in RBIs to Aubrey Huff.
Well, that's just another testament of the fact of what's going on with this Giant ball club as far as a cast of characters that's able to win baseball games.
Andres Torres up for the 6th time.
Let's look on the Hyundai cam one more time. This ball up and in, trying to throw a fastball in. Second Giant batter that the Rockies pitching staff has come in on. Sandoval the other.
Yeah, you don't want anybody to get too comfortable up there. It's been the Giants' night. Here's the 1-1 outside, 2-1. Couple hits tonight for Andres, and misses that ball. 2-2. Center field, pretty well hit. Really well hit. It's going to get out. His 11th home run of the year to dead center field. A 2-run home run. And it's 10-0 San Francisco.
Jim Tracy not at all what he had anticipated as a manager in this series tonight. A lot of talk in town that every game is a big game now. And obviously, when you trail the San Francisco Giants by 5 in the wild card, you don't want it expanded to 6. San Diego losing right now. Chance to make ground on the division. Got a pitch he could hit down and in, and this ball just continued to carry. Now the wind has shifted some, but I don't think it's shifted that much.
Sanchez has hit a home run tonight. And that rolls through the left side. That's the 4th hit in the inning. And the Giants are 2 hits from 20. So Aubrey Huff steps in. 0-1. Two balls and a strike. Giants are a hit away from their season high. They had 19 hits way back on April 7th in Houston. That was the second game of the year. And it looks again, George, obviously like tomorrow Ubaldo Jimenez will be taking the baseball after a Rockies loss.
Yep.
You know, the Rockies come into this ball game having won 4 straight. It's been a continuing theme for Colorado this year when Jimenez has pitched. Instead of building on a win or a winning streak, it's been as the stopper. And this is going to drop. This is hit number 19. Buster Posey will come up, a chance for a 4-hit night for the rookie. He's been on base 4 times, 3 singles and a walk. He has 2 RBIs. Every time he's made an out, Aaron Cook struck him out on a curveball back in the 3rd inning. The Giants have matched their season high with 19 hits. When you look up on the scoreboard and the opposition has 19 in the hit column and you have only 3, you don't even want to look at the run column.
Nope, it's not a good picture, I can tell you that. When that number shows up the way it just shows up here on the screen at home, folks. Manny Corpus would like to forget about this 9th inning, too.
8th man to hit in the inning, Buster Posey. Giants hit around in the 1st inning. Jonathan Sanchez worked into the 7th inning. And this one redirected to second, and Barmes able to redirect himself to get to the baseball. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th inning, 10-0 San Francisco. Not rough night, and that's an understatement. Eli Whiteside's now in the ballgame for Buster Posey. Santiago Casilla has been asked to get those final 3 outs.
Hard throwing right-hander too. Making his 27th appearance. All 29 strikeouts. He does walk a few people. Opponent's average 253. He'll get Brad Hott, Clint Barmes, and more than likely Giambi.
Giants came into the ballgame 3rd in the National League in ERA. And they've allowed Colorado just 3 hits tonight. No runs. The difference between this Giant team and the most recent vintages of Giant teams is they have the ability to score runs. Came into the ballgame 4th in the National League in hitting, a couple spots below the Rockies. And that's impressive when you play 81 of your games at AT&T Park. Brad Hott against Casilla, and he takes strike 1 at 97. Brad's 0 for 1. He's walked twice. One of 2 Rockies to reach a couple times in the ballgame. Helton the other one in his first game back. Todd has singled and walked. Hop has swung the bat well in this homestand so far, but this at bat, not a good one. 1 out, and that's 12 strikeouts tonight for the Giant pitching staff. Giant pitching staff leads the National League in strikeouts. And you have Lincecum, you have Sanchez, Matt Cain in your rotation. Barry Zito will get his share of strikeouts.
By the way, Inez has jumped out into the on-deck circle, not Giambi.
Not a real surprise that they lead the league in strikeouts with that grouping. 0-2. Ubaldo Jimenez against Madison Bumgarner tomorrow. It's an afternoon ball game again. 2 outs. Tonight's delivery of the game brought to you by Jimmy John's, the work of Sanchez. Rockies had him a little bit on the ropes in the first inning, and then he settled in. He had 7 straight punch-outs at one point, which ties a record set back in 1964 by the great Juan Marichal. Marietta being given an opportunity here because he will catch tomorrow afternoon, perhaps. Day game after a night game. That's generally how things work. This way he gets an at bat. Kind of give him a little bit of a jump on tomorrow. We'll see though, because Ubaldo has thrown most of the year almost exclusively to Oliva. Three and up. Rockies a ton of runs in that Chicago series, but tonight there's a bagel up on the scoreboard for the first 8 innings. And a walk to Iannetta. That'll get Seth Smith to the plate. Smith pinch hit for Spilborghs in the 7th inning, grounded into a fielder's choice.
Tell you what, they come out of some good arms, don't they? See a pop 98 right here. Ramirez was 94, 96 coming out of the bullpen. Ray was 95.
Of course, their closer Brian Wilson throws in the upper 90s.
Touch 100 occasionally.
And don't forget Denny Batista's working down there as a big arm.
Yeah, it's funny. There's different scouting services, and you can look up velocities. You can give velocities. The one the other day had Casilla throwing 100, and they had Wilson at 102. Batista at 98. Affel at 97. He's on the DL, by the way, the former Rocky.
One and two.
99.
And he strikes out Seth Smith to end this one. A tough night for the Rockies. They fell behind early 4-0. And the Giants rolled to a 10-0 victory in the first of this mini 2-game set. So the Rockies will lose ground against the Giants, at least in the National League West. The Dodgers continue to lead San Diego in the 6th inning, 2-1. The winning pitcher is Jonathan Sanchez. He improves to 8-6. Aaron Cook lasted only 3 innings. He falls to 4-8. The Rockies' 3 hits matches a season low.